Hello and welcome back to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. Hi, I'm Kittens, and I'm here with the lovely Ewan, and we're gonna talk about the Czech entrant for this year, ADONYS. We had surprise news last month that we were getting ADONYS announced for Czechia. So ADONYS is a Slovakian songwriter, singer, artist, etc., etc. Working out of Prague, done a lot of work in Czechia, relatively big in Czechia for as far as I can tell. So what do we think of the choice, Ewan? What are we thinking for this guy?
I think just before the actual choice itself, how they've done the choice is great because Czechia don't have a lot of money for Eurovision, so I love that they are focusing just on being there and being as good as possible rather than just showing up for the motions. So the fact that they've then picked someone and Adonis, who is a good singer, he's middle of the road, but in a unique sense. If that makes any sense, he's got like the appeals to a lot of different people, but without being too. This is going to be finishing 15th. Obviously, we don't have the song, so this is
Hmm.
extremely early to say. But I'm very happy with the actual pick of him so far.
Did you know him before the pick at all?
Other than people just like coming up with as soon as Czechia announced that they were doing internal selection, people were like, oh wait, maybe it's X, Y, and Z.
That
And like
guy.
that name was floated. It was like I kind of wasn't thinking it because it's not really Czechia's style. They tend to be a lot more not in your face, but they tend to be a lot more like present. So the fact they're going for someone who's a little bit more low key, I wasn't expecting actually him when I started like listening to the songs that he'd already made.
Yeah, like when I started listening to the songs, I was like, these are a lot more low-key than I was kind of expecting. I do really like his voice. Like his voice is really like rich and like full and in the best possible way. But I
Because
wasn't.
with his vocals though, he doesn't do a lot of big vocal moments, but he is the perfect vocalist for a big vocal moment.
Yeah, and I think he is going to be somebody who can just, go out there and deliver. Like, we are not going to have somebody who's going to be like struggling. This is like their first big performance in their life or anything like that with this, which is obviously like an important trait for Eurovision. That we're going to have somebody who is just like, I can just do it, and I think that is a really good choice for Czechia. We have had artists in the past few years who have struggled with, scaling it and stuff like that. Um, I mourn the demise of ESCZ, but I admire that they've done it, that they've just said, right, we've only got limited budget. Let's do it this way. You know, I,
Because they
I,
could have done a super cheap ESCZ like North Macedonia did the last time they were in the contest, but it wouldn't be the same. This just having like putting all this focus on finding a great artist, like how you're saying, who's ready to go. He knows what he's doing on a big stage.
yeah, and somebody who's obviously, he's been performing for a while. He's been reasonably big for a while. This is not somebody who is going to be turning on that stage for the first time and being, having problems, which, has happened across delegations for the last few years. So I have to say I'm kind of at this point, pre-song, I'm like reasonably pleased with what they've done. My concern is for me that a lot of the songs so far for me are a little bit middle of the road. And obviously we don't know. whether we are gonna get like, whether we're gonna get something huge or something low key from this guy yet. I don't know. Like, I am kind of mixed feelings at this point, and I'm really hoping that they're gonna like pull it out the bag and just be like,
I get what you're saying. And we're obviously we're very early in the season, and we've not had all of the national final songs. But from what you're saying, like there's a lot of middle of the road. There's a lot of mid like stuff like this, and he is very mid tempo, middle of the road, as said. But if there is a deluge of middle of the road songs in there, yeah, it's probably not going to win. There's probably going to be something loud or something extremely quiet that's going to win. But middle of the road songs are going to have to go through. So the fact that they're having someone who is such good quality doing something middle of the road, I think there is that opportunity to really do well.
yeah, like I don't, I am very much a bangers person, but I will appreciate anything if it's done well enough. Like, I am not the target market for, say, Nina Zizik or something like that, but I appreciate that she's a really good singer and she elevates that song. Um, and like, I'm not gonna like diss an artist because their song isn't my style. But I just with what he's done so far, listening back to a lot of it, I just want it to just be elevated a little bit. He's clearly a really big vocal talent. He's clearly a good songwriter, clearly a good performer. Um, and I just needs proof for me. And because this is somebody who's clearly got a lot of star quality, so it just needs that extra little push.
Because I get what you mean. Because some of the things like No Common Measures, it's a good song, but it's very easy listening. And there's oh god, there was another one of his. I think it's one of his big ones. Moving On.
Mm.
It's very low key, and there's good vocal modes. But I feel like if Czechia do not utilize and to make this big, there was kind of no reason of picking him because he fits so well for that.
I mean, looking at artists who have been what I perceive to be relatively similar to this guy without knowing a great deal about this guy. People like Musti, people like maybe even Ollie Alexander, people who are, established performers who can go out and do this. And when it comes to the actual show, they kind of get overlooked because there's too much other stuff going on that is one level of spectacular, kind of
Mhm.
more than them.
Because yeah, with all
Um,
Alexandra, they essentially ruined his vocal ability by having it so energetic that no singer can do that.
because it's like this Dizzy isn't bad.
Well, I mean, Nemo
Like,
obviously could do that but that's
yeah.
Nemo.
But in Eurovision now we are looking for an outstanding artist in an outstanding song with an outstanding performance. Whatever that may be, that doesn't necessarily have to be a high BPM or a rock song or a big ballad or whatever that is. It just needs to be outstanding. And I think this guy has a lot of potential. Like, it's just whether the song is like 100% with this because I think the performer box is ticked. The like, can they actually go out there and do it? Have they got the style, the fashion to like show what they can do on that kind of
But by
stage?
the looks of it, he definitely has the fashion.
Yeah, and the
The
drama.
outfits from yeah.
The drama. I mean, which video was I watching? Overthinker? The drama and the message also. I like that that has the message. It's it's that nice thing of having a really good song but with a kind of hidden conscious message that we've had a lot of in the last few years. I mean, even just looking at Nemo, this is a banger track and it has a message. um so I don't know. I think it will, of course it's all going to come down to the song. That sounds blatantly obvious, but I think with this one I am kind of excited, stroke nervous to see what they deliver, you know?
I'm extremely excited. I don't necessarily think I'm going to love this song, but I think I'm going to love what Czechia are going to do.
I mean, when we've looked at how Czechia have staged and presented artists the last few years, you know, what they did with Aiko in particular was tremendous.
I would honestly say she's still the best. That was the best staging of the year.
That was incredible. And for Czechia to come up with that, and we know they haven't got the biggest budget in the world, so they are thinking sideways on this. So I think, considering that obviously there is going to be some budget on the fact that this guy is big and going to be supported by record labels and, companies and so on and so forth, I think that it's a very savvy choice. And I even when we get the song, I feel like that's definitely not gonna be the complete story because I will be so excited to see what they bring for the staging. Because whatever it is, I think it will take the song from here to here in just like that 3 minute gap, which is what it needs, to be honest.
Yeah, Czechia I think is extremely underrated with what it does at staging because even ones that don't do that great, there's like I call great staging. Think of like Nicholas Yosef. Like they that was really their Anouk moment in terms of staging and like completely blowing things out of the water. Yeah, it's going to be amazing, especially on that stage, because I feel there's going to be a lot of opportunity to do something with an individual one. I don't really want to see dancers. Obviously, we don't have the songs. This is completely ridiculous. But yeah,
Yeah,
focus on him.
I mean, I think it's again, it's really hard to tell before the song, but I think this has a lot of promise as a pick. I'm definitely put me in the excited pile, at least until the song comes out. Um I'm reasonably happy with what's going on here. And I mean, even though I think those who have watched me in videos will know that I have one specific thing I hate about men's fashion, and it's mesh tops with glittery bits in them.
Oh, don't. They're vile.
And I feel like we might be in the line for a mesh top with glittery bits in it, but I will forgive this on this occasion if he can deliver.
If the blazer goes really well with it, then it's forgiven. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look past it. We'll look past it. If it, yeah, I reckon this can very work. So, and obviously he's done modeling, he's done, that kind of stuff before. So I'm hoping this is somebody with their finger on the pulse of fashion, and somebody who's going to really turn it out.
Yeah, I can fully see like them collaborating with a great designer based on
Mm.
what they've already seen from like music videos and such. So I think that's probably going to be. We need an anti-Barbara Dex award for the best one because, and I feel like this is something that ADONXS would probably win.
Yeah, I reckon we could be in for something quite special, with the staging and the performance and the identity of the artist, which I think could be genuinely quite special this year. We could have a kind of Bambi Thug on our hands in terms of style here
Hmm.
if done right. Not necessarily in terms of Bambi Thug's style. I mean somebody who really understands their identity and how that fits into fashion and their style. I'm not
Bambi Thug, but with glitter.
Bambi Thug, but with glitter and less gothy, I think. But but yeah, any final thoughts, Ewan, before we wrap up?
Yeah, just I just want to be big vocal moment and thank you so much, Czechia, for because there was rumors that they were going to withdraw, and I
Yeah,
feel like Czechia is one of the countries where it doesn't get a lot of attention, but you would notice it feels like they wouldn't be there,
you'd
like you would
feel like
notice
a
them.
void if they were gone.
Yeah, so the fact that they're coming this they're approached in this year, Jessica Televisia, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think applause to the delegation for doing what they're doing. You know, as much as I miss the yearly antics of Adam Misick, and Chums, I think this was absolutely the right approach. Kudos. You are doing a great job. Keep doing it. And whoever's been doing your staging for the last few years, do that again. Right, we'll wrap up there. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more shenanigans. And to be notified when we have new content coming out, because there's going to be loads of content as the new season kicks in properly. Also be sure to follow us at that Eurosite on Twitter, Facebook, Threads, Tumblr, Instagram, Blue Sky. I've definitely missed one. TikTok.
Tumblr?
TikTok. Did I not say Tumblr? If I didn't say Tumblr, I meant to say Tumblr.
Any
Um,
social media, we've got it.
yeah, we love it. Yeah. And of course, be sure to check out at that Eurovision podcast on all your streaming sites, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. And of course, check out the site, that EurovisionSite.com. And all that's left for me to say is thank you very much to Ewan for joining me. And thank you for watching. Kittens out.
Right?
Bye.